right, good evening, Bosman. It looks like you're the only one on Zoom at the moment, but we're recording this. Some people might arrive a bit later. So we're going to look at, no, I'm not now. So where I got the idea from to do this was from a YouTube video, which I will send a link if anybody wants to see that. That ran through it, but did a different processing to the way I do processing. So I just got the idea of how to download the files from that YouTube. So you go to the Hubble Legacy Archive. You can, I think, search for M16 to get the pillars of creation. Come on. There we go. All right. And then you find the most recent files. Here's the date. 2014 lot, the most recent. There are two infrared ones. Actually shows and there's three visible ones. So I downloaded the three visible ones. These, if you look on the right, that long name over there where see my cursor, that F502 is the not frequency, wavelength. So the 502 is the shortest, 657 is the middle, and 673. 673 you would then use for red, 657 for green, and the 502 for blue. Phone on mute.
That's interesting. There's a quite short variance. And the 673 is quite long.
So, all right, so I have already downloaded those. So it takes a while. They're quite big. I'll just go to my directory where I've got them. So there you see 256 megabytes. And you've got to download it the right way as well, because otherwise you download a whole lot of extra files and duplicates in different formats and so on, and you spend a lot of time downloading stuff unnecessarily. So you must actually look for this fits file and just download that one. If you guys want it, actually, you can just get a copy from me. So then I'll send you the link to that YouTube video. That person uses, what is that old FITS thing, that free thing you got from NASA for dealing with FITS files again? What's it called? Anyway, she was using that to convert it to TIFF and so on, and I just go straight to Siril. So just let me open that. Beta 2. So come on, Siril, open. It's gone. Here we go. All right. Just set my home thing. I'm just going to make sure it's set to that. No, that's Dropbox. Yeah, that's got me in the right directory. Okay, so then I don't open any files. I just go straight to image processing in the menu. I go to RGB compositing, and there you select your files. So that was the red. So we take the longer wavelength for that one. It just takes a couple of moments to load.
Glad you're recording this, Dave.
It's actually a good idea. All right, then it's green. There's the intermediate one. And then blue will be the shortest one. I think so. We can just check it. Here we go. Where's properties? Oh, there. Why don't you see the? Why doesn't this tell you how many? I don't know. Anyway, we'll see when we save it. I think it is. I think it is 32 bits. Okay, so we're back here. All right, so you just say, I don't know, I click on this adjust layers brightness. I don't know if that does anything. So what you can do just to check, you can go to auto stretch. You must have it on high definition and then you see more. I'm not seeing it. Got a different thing. Well, maybe I've got to run this first. So click on that. All right, so then I do not a one-star registration. I do image pattern alignment. I just know that this is the right area. I don't know why it's not stretching now. And then you can click on a line, and then hopefully your red. Because I was on the red, that's why I wasn't on RGB. Yeah. So I'm not sure if this is selected. I think it is.
Oh, it said 1.2 beta.
Okay. There's one beyond beta, but I think they still call it beta. I think it's this one. Oh, okay. Is there another one, another new one? Okay. I don't know why this is taking so long. Maybe it has a line. Okay. So it's still. There we go. All right. Then I'll just close that. Just want to see if I can get this in. I must go to RGB. There we go. Now it's gone crazy. All right. I don't know why this is showing completely green like that, but that's on the stretch. So what I do first is you first got to crop it. I don't know why it's just playing like this. I did it twice this afternoon, display like this. Yeah. Why is the green completely white? Something wrong here. I'm just going to load the file which I have. We didn't save the one where before I split up the stars. Here we go, this one. 605 megabytes.
Is that now the raw image?
Okay, let me try and stretch this one now. There we go. So that's what it should look like once it's composited. Okay, so it's got a heavy bias in the green. It's just much brighter than all the rest. All I do is when I do doing the stretch, I just stretch the channel separately. I tried extracting background, and that's what actually that last image that I shared with you was done like that. And I think it's better to actually just not do that. So then No, unfortunately, this is now already had the stars removed. So it should look like this, but with the stars in, and then I would go to image processing, star processing. It's now built in into Siril. You don't have to go out and do it as a separate job. You just do it from here. You run the StarNet star removal, and you say, now this is auto stretch is not actually stretch, it's still linear. So you'd even just change it to linear there and say pre-stretch linear image. Then you're generating a star mask and you say execute. I'm not going to do that because I've already got it done, and plus it takes 7 minutes to get it done. On my desktop computer, I think on this one it's a bit slow. So then you get, so what you might have noticed, or you couldn't see on the other one, it's like sort of almost like a rectangle with slopes on the sides. You know, the Hubble thing is not quite square and rectangular image. So I had to crop this. So you've got to crop it before you extract the stars. Otherwise, you can't recombine your stars properly because it's not the same size. So the first thing you do is crop once you've combined the 3 channels. Then you do the star extraction. Okay, so that's now done. So that's essentially the step we're in. So now you go and stretch the starless image, which you've now got. So,
excuse me, so your final image, you want no stars at all?
No, you do. Combine. You process them separately so that you don't, while you're stretching the image, you tend to overstretch the stars, the colors go wrong. So you do separate processing on the stars to get their colors more natural and the levels more natural, not to get it blown out and so on. It's just easier that way. So, okay. So now you go back to linear here. All right, can you see the image? All right, so then all I do is I just use the generalized hyperbolic stretch. So you can see everything's crammed up. You can push the scale up to maximum. Maximum that Siril allows is 100. All right, all it's done is that line has disappeared off to the right there. So you've got to have a symmetry point before you can start. So I just click plus once because everything's there on the left just to get it started. And then I set the local stretch intensity quite high, up to about 12 to start with. And then you can stretch. And what you're going to see, of course, it takes a while to react. So you'll see the green start appearing there, because it's much more dominant than the other 2. Where's it gone? There it is. Okay, you see the green is way to the right of the blues and stuff. All right, so that's just an initial stretch. You just say apply. And very slowly to that. All right, so then what I do is I switch off the green by clicking on the green dot there, and then just stretch the other 2 again. Just do another 1 click again for the symmetry point. You must have some local stretch, but now I go to a bit less, about 8 for the next couple of stretches. Then you stretch again on the top button, the top slider. Try to get the blue sort of level with the green, the blue and the red. All right, you're not seeing anything yet. Don't panic. We're going to see it now. All right, it's coming up slowly. All right, they're sort of next to each other now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do apply. And then I'm just going to do another stretch with all together again by switching on the green. All right, I'm just going to click in on the left of the thing I can see there and do See, that's even, we're starting at 0.00100. Now it's even smaller when I've clicked there. Give a local stretch of about 8 again. And then another. Okay, now remember this scale is 100 times, so that's why you see everything rather enlarged there. Do we see any image yet? Still nothing. What's that? All right, let's give it another stretch. Apply. Oh, my desktop's a lot quicker than this thing. Come on. Okay, so set the symmetry point somewhere over here, I think. I'll explain. Actually, what I do sometimes do later on, particularly, you actually, after you've done a stretch, then you adjust the symmetry point and see what effect it has. And you can actually get it quite nice that way. So in the generalized hyperbolic stretch, you've got a sort of S graph almost, and it focuses that on your graph of your histogram. So it swivels around that. So you put it more to the left, then it's actually stretching your dimmer stuff more. Put it more to the right of the curve, then it's giving more contrast and making the blacks a bit darker. So, yeah, it's not really a straight line, it's a curve. Okay, so that has not been applied. Why is that? That has been applied. All right, so I'm gonna put this onto one scale. You see, it's still all way on the left there. Let's put it onto. Let's make it 60. All right, so I'm just going to select a symmetry point there again. Do another stretch. Why is this? Something's not right here. Oh, now we should start seeing something soon. There we go. There we go. Now I'm going to apply that. Right, now I'm going to set this to 1. It's still not sure. All right, let's just click again on the left there and see what will come up. See, now it's 0.004, it's coming up with it. I don't know why the local stretch doesn't come back. You see the curve going like that, Pierre? See, now it's focusing it on there. You see it when you get the thing more stretched more, then you see properly how it works. Come on. With the sort of images I take, it doesn't take this many stretches. I don't know why it's taking so much now with the Hubble one. You know, 2 or 3 stretches with my own images, then it's done. All right, now we can start seeing the colors. We can start getting the balance right as well. We're nearly there. All right, so the green is still too dominant there, so we bring the red and the blue up. Right, now let's apply. I think it might be having a hard time because it's transmitting on the Wi-Fi to the TV. I'm not sure. Normally it's a bit faster than this. So I'll switch off the green and do another stretch now. Just, maybe I should even switch the blue off, bring the red up. Yeah, just the red. So, okay, I'm going to go to Masjid is joining us. I'm going to set the point on the left of the red, so I'll bring up all the dim reds as well. The symmetry point is on 0.08 now. All right. So local stretch is on 0 at this point somewhere. You can actually, seems like you can even go negative if you go left. So now I run it sort of about 4.5, 5 on local. And then we do a stretch. And then see how quickly it comes up now. Okay, so it's sort of on either side of the green. So let's just bring the blue up and see how that blue is a bit low probably. So let's now other thing is I want to start with a highlight protection on the slider at the bottom here. You see this area here that is quite bright. I don't want that to get blown out. Normally this is the highlight protection, something you use when you're adjusting the stars more than anything. I use it here as well on the starless image. So about the mid 70s is probably okay. So what that effect has, it just pushes that part of the curve down there. That is the sort of focus curve. All right, so let's apply that and then bring up the blue a bit. And by the way, you've got a whole lot of things you can do here. If you don't, I presume you don't know Siril, you can do that GHT. You can do it inverse. You can do modified arcsine, inverse modified arcsine transform. You can do a linear stretch as well. The linear stretch you essentially just use, if your black point has gone too far to the right, then you bring it up a bit to increase the brightness in your black areas a bit.
Why did you decide on generalized type point?
It's just the most efficient one for stretching.
In your experience, or is it a statement?
It is what's Adam Block? Adam Block, recommended by Adam Block. It's this started in Pixinsoft. And then obviously the guy that Block's friend that developed it for Siril as well. So he's giving it essentially for free. It's not quite as fancy as the one in Pixinsoft, but it's good enough. It does what I wanted to do. So okay, have we brought the blue up yet? No, we haven't chosen it. Okay, it's actually just about almost the same as the. All right, that's a symmetry point. Let's bring this up to about 4.5. Then I'll slide. It might be too much. Anyway, it's all too dumb, so we've got to bring it all up a bit more. There you see the blue is nice and dominant now. So maybe, what do you think of the balance there now? Just the balance between the colors. You think I'd just give it a stretch, everything in unison, all the channels in unison. Right, let's apply this. Come on. Here we go. All right, now we switch them all on. Now, I like this idea of keeping your background sort of clouds fairly bright, but I'm not going to go completely on the left. I'm going to go more in the middle now just to see how that works with the symmetry point. All right, and then I'm going to give it about a 3, just less than 4 on the local, and stretch it a bit. I just wanted to react first before I do more. You see, all I've done is on the top right, 0.176. I hardly stretched it at all, and it's got a lot brighter. But now I want to watch this bright area there, so I want to bring down the highlight protection a bit more. Now I'm just going to show you if you manipulate the symmetry point now. You can't be in too much of a hurry with this. So if I move it, say, to the right, give it a chance to change. You see what's happened? Your sort of background and the black has gone slightly darker. It's probably, now what you see, this section here is very dark now. To me, that looks a little bit unnatural, so I want to bring it back a bit. There you're getting some more, now you're getting some detail in there. I think I'm going to, do you think it needs more stretching? I don't think so. Yeah. So what I would do now is just click apply. And then you close. You don't have any black areas, so just to show you. So this is actually a lot simpler than when you're doing your own images. Doing your own images, you've got to work with all these other things. The Hubble one is, it's just so many photons. It's just, I mean, I didn't do any background extraction now. There's no background to extract on the Hubble image. But just to show, the linear shift is just this, just that one line there. That's just for the black point. So if you move that to the right, it just makes the black brighter. No, it makes it darker. All right, so of course. So I don't really want to clip any of that detail off there. I don't know. It's, you know, some of these things is a bit of choice and so on as to how you like it. So I'm just going to close it. Right, then you save. Get this out of my way. You click on that down arrow. You don't just click on save. You see, there's the name, starless unsaved compositing result. So I'm just going to call it starless. Come on. Starless in version. I don't think this is version 3, but we'll call it version 4. So it's being saved as a fit because it can still be a fit, but I'm going to recombine it in Siril and you can use the fits in Siril. So here it gives you the choice. So I'll leave it as a 32-bit. All right, so then we've got to go and load the star mask. So see, there's the previous one version. Just to have it, let's just have a look at the previous one I had. See, in this one, I actually did do a background extraction, and I did it quite quickly. And as you can see, I think the darks are way too dark. The further one I've done now. So now let's just find that star mask again. Starless, star mask, unsaved compositing result. Open. So those are your stars. Can you see them? All right. So we just, again, stretch this. Get out of that. We want to go back to generalizing. Now, some people start with that modified arc sin H. I just go straight to GH or stars. I've got various workflows with. I've tried that. It didn't seem to make much difference to me. They do say where you've got these different combinations, they say the human weighted luminance for stars is better. It brings out the colors in the stars better. I've got all this detail in various workflows, which I can send you if you want. So then we stretch it. Then for symmetry point with stars, all you can do is just put it on that. Local stretch doesn't really make a difference with the stars, but it's all in them. Stretch factor. Now it's big stretch. Come on, come on, come on. Sorry, this requires a lot of patience. All right, let's apply that. Let's apply that provision. Okay, I just want to have a look at the auto stretch to see what that shows us. Okay, there are stars there. Looks like we're going to have a green excess on the stars as well. Okay, let's go back to linear and try and get it there quickly. Symmetry point, just on 100. Local stretch. Main stretch. Fine. There we're starting to see stars. The stretch stretches the whole graph equally. Stretch factor. The local stretch intensity changes the shape of the graph to focus it on the peak of your histogram. So it's easier to see when you've got the thing more to show you how it works when it's more stretched. So again, we just put the minor stretch there. Probably with stars, you don't even need any local stretch. You just do stretch. When the stars start getting too bright, then we must start with the highlight protection. I'll go right down to 65% with the stars. All right, now I think we can give it another stretch and then we can start looking at the colors. I'll just try and get it a bit more. We didn't apply that, sorry. No, I messed it up. Come on. Make a mistake, you've got to wait half a minute. Apply already. There we go. Now it's applied. All right, I almost think we can start getting the colors right now. Maybe we can just give a slight stretch. Just want to go on this Yeah, one step at a time. Let's go. You can also type in here. Go 0.1. All right. I think we must bring up the blue. Now switch off the green. And give me channel 1. In a human weighted luminance, you can't use it with all the channels, not all the channels selected. So let's change it to even weighted luminance. So we'll just do it that way. So let's lift up the red and the blue simultaneously and just see what that does. Won't stretch it. Won't be too much. No, that's too much. Way too much. Actually, for the average brightness, is that maybe we can just bring the green up to that rather. Maybe if you're happy with that sort of brightness level for your final brightness, and then we just bring up the push down the highlight protection. If you don't have those very bright spots blowing out there. And then apply. I don't want to go too much into how the GHT works now. It wouldn't take too much time, but we can do a separate thing on that some stage if you like. Just on that. I thought we had done that at one stage. Anyway, let's do it again. I think it's quite useful. So now we switch off the green. I switch on the green and off the other two. Let's do a plus. Let's do a local intensity anyway. And now this up slightly. No, probably too much. Does that look too yellow to you now? Maybe we just let's bring this up to 75. Where's the graph gone? No, it just stays on the left. It stars. You don't see anything. I think we need a bit of blue there. Do you think it's too bright now or not? Did I apply that? I didn't apply it. No. You can also do it then, yeah. Have you used Siril? Have you used Siril? Sorry, you have? Okay. So you know all about it. So you should be telling me what to do here. I spent, I had you get a 45-day free trial with PixInsight. And I went into it intensively. At the end of it, I was almost tempted, but I can't justify spending 250 euros on a program where this is 90% as good. Okay. Yeah. So now I'm just going to do the blue. Blue. It looks so yellow. It'll adjust itself first. There's these spots of green there all over the place. I'll just show you later on what to do about that. Does that look more natural now? Go up a bit. I think for the sake of experience here, I'm just going to save it like that. Let's just bring the highlight protection down. Fine. Right, let's just save this and see. Mask. Version. What did I say? Version 4. 32-bit. All right, now we're almost there. So then we go to menu, star, there's the star stuff, star processing, star recomposition. And then you select your background is your starless one that you saved, which we called starless M16 version 4. Come up here. There we go. I'm sure this thing wasn't this slow before. I don't know what's happening in the background. It's probably doing a Windows update or something. Come on. Okay, then we can open the stars. Star mask. There we go. We've got stars. Doesn't look too bad. All right. So I'm just going to, you can do some adjustments here. Almost the same as in the GHS thing, but I'm not going to do that. So all I do here is save it. Now I must save it as a, right, so this is now M16 version 4, and it's the final Siril image. But I don't want it as fit. I want it as TIFF for Photoshop. So if you click on save, then it asks you, I'm going to save it as a 32-bit and a 16-bit. 16-bit you need for Photoshop, but in other programs you can do, they deal with a 32-bit TIFF, like Affinity Photo. So I'm just going to save
other programs like what?
Affinity Photo. Affinity.
Oh.
Does
that do the same
it's like a very cheap version, a once-off cost of 300 rand or something, and it's in some ways better than Photoshop. I was using it a lot of times. You can do astrophotography from end to finish. It was developed by a guy for astrophotography. Yeah. Okay, then I also want to save it as a 16, but actually,
Scully's recommendations.
yeah, I think that's where I heard about it first. So now I'll save it as a 16, but to use as Photoshop. And then we're done with Siril. Siril Ramaphosa, not Ramaphosa. Are you sure you want to quit? All right, then we go to Photoshop. Photoshop. No, this one I'm going to get it on the menu. Oops. 2024. No, well, I've got a copy of 22 as well. These are all massive files, so it's actually not surprising that the computer is struggling a little bit. Come on, Photoshop. Let's actually check my memory. Nine of 16 gigabytes. You see, on my desktop, I've got 32 gigabytes of RAM. Makes a big difference. All right. Open. Come on. Open the sculptor game of Galaxy. Let's go to. Oh, you see, this is that one that I did with my own camera. See, in this one, I use the Siril process to make the stars round. It worked absolutely beautifully. Have you tried that yet? Again, I found a YouTube video, guy describing it. It took him about 5 minutes to explain it. Once you see it explained, it's so easy. But you can never work it out for yourself. It's impossible. Yeah. So what am I looking for on that one? Astronomy image. Hubble. Okay, what did I call that now? It must be a TIFF. This one. Are you opening or what are you doing? Come on. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. All right, so I'll send you the workflow, but there's 4 things I do in Photoshop which make a big difference. I don't know why this is so bright now. I've loaded the wrong thing. This is the 32-bit, that's why. There you go, 32. Recording this. Yeah. I am, yeah. Okay, I'll send you the recording. Is the gate still open there?
Cheers, Pierre. Enjoy the books, remember one at a time.
Thank you indeed. How's Ansi?
Huh?
How is Ansi? Is she at home?
She's at
Okay, she can go to hospital then. Didn't go to hospital.
right.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't change the name with the other one now. What was that called again? I think it might have been this one. Yeah. I forgot to change the name of the 16-bit one. There, you see now it looks better.
Right.
See, Photoshop doesn't like the 32-bit thing. So I would go to.
But you saved it in 16-bit. You said.
Yeah, but I forgot to change the name. It was still the generic name. Sorry, is it closed? Okay. I just actually also want to open my old one just to see my workflow.
While you're busy here, shall I go and close it for you?
Does what? No, it's all right. What? Blue button.
Blue button.
Top left. I just want to look for my other Photoshop. Yeah, this one. Now it's going to charm memory. There's two Photoshop folders. You got it. Okay, there's my. So I started with spot healing because all those funny little blotches of color. In fact, let's just look at this one just for this to save time. So let's switch off all the processes and we just go through the. That's obviously just your background. This is your initial file as it's loaded. Then I went to. If you look at that spot up there, see, I just use the spot healing tool. Just go over it and fills in the background, so that you can't see automatically. It's unbelievable. And then there were, if you zoomed in, there's this thing, control. How do you zoom in on? It's control plus in Photoshop. Yeah. So if you, I don't know, there was a whole lot of little red spots and stuff all over the place that I zoomed in and took quite a lot of trouble to sort out. And then I did a topaz denoise. If we go in on an area somewhere, just to zoom in to see easier. The fair bit of, okay. There you can see a fair bit of noise there and so on. So I did a topaz denoise. Does that look better? Yeah. It's, I mean, the Hubble image is not very noisy. And then I did camera raw filter just to, you can't really see much difference, but just to get, the contrast balance and stuff a bit better. Just tweaking a little bit here and there. Then I did a high pass filter. I saw a YouTube video where a guy did a comparison of different sharpening methods. And he just said, high pass is just the best one that we've got. And I remembered it's one of the first things you taught us, and I'd forgotten how to do it. Now this guy showed again. Now actually, he showed a method which I just went into high pass, do the mask, and do a mask, do a black mask, and then I just paint over the areas that I want to sharpen, and then things like the stars don't get sharpened. So I've done a selective sharpening of just the areas like, but in this one I've actually over sharpened it. If you zoom in, yeah. Shit, but no, I've done anything. You see all these funny little speckles around these things, but what I do like.
Can you cure that at this stage or too late?
I think I did a stamp layer on top, but maybe you can. So if you look at that this bright sort of flame area, brought out those tendrils nicely there. What you can do, I used a hard light blending mode. If you change that to soft light, you see the difference? Alternatively, you can leave it as hard light, and you can then go to your opacity and bring that down. Or your fill. Is it your fill or your opacity? Which do you bring down? Opacity. Eh? So if you bring that down, you've got to bring it down quite a lot when those artifacts disappear. So possibly the other, where is it? Hard light. Possibly better just to leave it at the soft light. Interesting, if you see that overlay, if you just go over that, You can see where I brushed out to allow the sharpening to happen. Soft light. All right, and then the top is just a stamp layer, I think, just so that you can, so that it saves properly to a JPEG. All right, I don't know if you guys would like a cup of coffee. Just for a matter of interest, no. I've still got this one. So I'm just gonna, you don't have to wait, but I'm gonna manipulate this one. This is the one I've just done now.
Oh.
In Siril. So I want to do this in Photoshop. There was an interesting thing, I don't know if I've got it loaded here. No. There's the Hubble M16 Hubble image. You go to this, just to compare with what Hubble had. What they did in Hubble. So if you just watch this, so you see they've also got those very dark areas over there and so on, all those dark areas. And I was just interested to see, compare my image, you know, the sharpness, various things, colors and so on, compared to the way they process them. Because I would obviously like to end up with something better than they've done. So that's the optical. And now this is the, on that web, you can download, these are the infrared images taken by Hubble, not by James Webb. So this is the, you can process that as well. And then just, and also what I did, there's the bubble image, the more recent version, Hubble version of that. It's just the whole image just filled by the bubble. And that actually looks rather spectacular as well. All right.
Tell me now.
We still got attendees, we still got the Zoom on.
You said Chris Stewart checked in.
Stop sharing. Let me just check here. 3 participants.
Just
No,
for my
Maciek, Soltinsky, Bosman, Olivier. Just those 2.
Bosman, Olivier,
and
Chris Stewart.
this Maciek, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce his
Oh,
this guy with the Polish.
I still haven't found out.
Maciek, do you want to tell us again how to pronounce your name? We're listening to you. I'm going to stop recording in the meantime.